Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, we got a very tired buddy here, sleeping, and the boss is very tired. He was very active all morning. Anyway, so shh. In the meantime, maybe we can upload some videos here, important ones. We have the issue of Hungary, the European Union, money, Ukraine, contractors, military contractors, and rules and regulations that could be, bypassed and broken, violated when needed. So I have here two articles, one from Agence France Press and the other one from the New Voice of Ukraine. They fight to get Orban bring Orban, the Prime Minister of Hungary, back in line, and he refuses. He's playing tough, and that's good. Macron invited Orban to Paris on Thursday. Orban came to Paris, saw Macron, and nothing happened, obviously, because Macron did that just to show that he is like an important leader. Well, I don't think so anymore. I thought that maybe he has more influence, but he's not. The way he was smacked by Zelensky last year in 2022, it was in about May, June, when Macron was talking to Putin almost daily. So did Olaf Scholz, the Chancellor of a weak Germany. Zelensky said, why do you guys have to talk to him, who a war criminal, every day? And both of them stopped talking to the Russian president for about 2 months, and then again they started slowly, and then nothing. So that tells me how strong France is compared with Zelensky, or Zelensky-Steins. So let's go over the first one with Macron hosting Hungary's Orban, and the other article is, I'm going to show you, at least they say it, and I will explain how the rules are for us, for all of us. The rules are there, but always someone can override them. And those are the ones in power. So that means there are no rules whatsoever. Macron hosts Orban in bid to break Ukraine deadlock. Agence France Press. I will show you how the European Union tries to circumvent Orban's veto, or Hungary's veto. Their own policies they will circumvent. So that it's like guys come and vote, and when you, it's actually the same thing as the electoral college here in the United States of America. You have the popular vote, and in the popular vote you have the electors. The electors can vote however they want. Why? Because that was created as a buffer zone for the idiots, which is us. Which, if we vote for someone that is not supposed to be the one, those guys will vote for something else. They don't have to vote the way we voted. Okay, they should, but if they have the right not to do it. So the same here. There are regulations, in the European Union, of veto power, and not only veto power, but unanimity in certain decisions, where that unanimity could be bypassed. So let's say the European Union wants to provide some weapons to a country. All the countries in the European Union have to unanimously say yes. If one says no, it falls apart. So that's how the rules is. But we find out they have their ways to go around it. So then, it's a joke, my friends. French President Emmanuel Macron met Prime Minister Viktor Orban on Thursday in a bid to break the deadlock ahead of the EU summit after Hungarian leader threatened to block further backing for Ukraine. They didn't do anything. He was incapable. And here, you see, they talk about Orban as being an authoritarian, this and that, and this guy a great leader. Well, I have to remind you that this guy single-handedly, he signed the pension reform in France, bypassing again the parliament and the will of the people. 80%, according to polls, 80% of the French nation, which is French, they said they are against the pension reform. So that's the majority, that's the will of the people. And Macron took it and he signed it. I'm going to make it. And he did it. Everything was legal and constitutional. So all these laws that we have, not all, could be circumvented if someone, and it's important decisions could be taken by one person and ignore everybody else. But in the meantime, they tell you that you have a democracy. You don't have a fucking democracy. What are you talking about? So the same here. The Macron is still considered a leader and is never used authoritarian, autocratic, populist, or far left or far, never. But the other one all the time. Anyway, let's go to the next article and see how the European Union will solve the problem with Orban, with the problem that Orban uses the rules and regulations of the European Union. His country disagrees with this guy's decision. Opinion polls also reveal the same thing in Hungary. The new voice of Ukraine. Brussels confident it will circumvent Orban's veto on Ukraine aid. Report. It's confident. Why? Because they know they have the measures. And I'm going to show you how they do it. The European Union will find a way to provide financial and military assistance to Ukraine, even if Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban vetoes the planned allotment of 50 billion euros or $55 billion, Reuters reported on December 8. And they say, we know how existential it is. No, it's not. You make it sound as it is. It's not. European leaders are responsible people, except one. At least 26. They will stick to their commitments. Well, what do you mean to stick to their commitments? The official mentioned that if Orban vetoes the pledged 50 billion euros for Ukraine, which is intended to be delivered by 2027, the bloc could allocate a smaller amount of money over a shorter period, or the remaining 26 European countries could continue their aid to Ukraine on a bilateral basis. The official also suggested the possibility of reaching a compromise with Hungary, money, as happened in December of the previous year when the European Union allocated 18 billion euros to Ukraine. However, he added that many members within the bloc are disappointed by the Hungarian government stance of working for their people, for its people. So, across the board, the Hungarian hooligans are a problem when it comes to our policy vis-a-vis Russia's aggression against Ukraine, they added. Can you believe that? The hooligans? Oh my. So, what would they do? They will do it on bilateral level. They will do it from one country to one country. So, this amount of 50 billion euros that comes from a fund, European Union fund, and where they all tax them and they donate and they give the money they have to. So there's like a treasury, let's say. And from there they take it. And Orban said, no, I disagree with that. I don't want that to go over there because you owe me money. You owe my people money. And when you give to someone who's not a member of the European Union, but you withhold money from a European Union member state. No, we're not going to do this. Oh my God, you are a bad person. Well, I don't give up. Let's put it this way. So this is how the things go. I don't want from everybody. So if you, let's say Romania, weasels, you want to give Ukraine money and screw your own citizens, like you've been doing for the past, 33 years? Yeah, you go ahead. We don't want to do that. We're not going to give anything. That's the way it is. If France wants to give, France can give. So one-on-one. And I'm guaranteeing you that the European Union, the guys in Brussels, will have mechanisms, as they said, allocate a smaller amount, not 50 billion, I know, let's say 49 billion, it's smaller, right? They didn't mention, for a shorter period of time, instead of sending 49 billion euros, let's say, until 2027, was that the day they said, 2027? Yeah, 2027. They're going to say, let's say 2024, going to send them 49. So it's going to be even better. Like when I went to deal with a car salesman, he was giving me a better deal. And actually it was the worst deal for me, obviously. Why? Because I caught them lying. These guys lie. And I caught them in their faces, both. The guy, the salesman, and his manager. Because the supervisor, he gave me the deal. So first they lied to me. So I went the first day, they gave me a deal. I made them sign the deal right there on the paper. That's how we do it. Weasels. They signed over there. I showed up next day. The guy was not over there. It was a guy who said, well, actually that we can't. The guy that signed over there is not here, but he made a mistake. So this is the real deal. I said, You see over there the signature? Works for you. He's a salesman right there. You don't want to give me? Stood up. I said, give me the deposit. I'm out. They went and spoke with the supervisor. I went, the supervisor would like to offer you a better deal. Okay, so I went to speak with the supervisor with a better deal. What happened over there? He gave me a better deal. It was a worse deal, but he changed things. These guys are not smarter than us. They are just used to, that's their job. So they speak fast. They give you some numbers. They make a little connection between them and say, I save you this amount. You sit down if you know a little bit of algebra, arithmetics. You think, let me think. I need it from the manager's office. I said, let me think. From the supervisor's office to the dealer's, the salesman's office, it took me 10 seconds, 12 seconds. I sat down. I said, can I have a piece of paper and a pen? A pen I had it here. Puck. Boom, 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 boom. I said, no. I said, you guys are crooks. I said, you guys are crooks. Call your supervisor here. Got the supervisor, said, you are crooks. You gave me a worse deal. And I explained to him how I was losing money from his better deal. I said, you are crooks. The one that's telling me that, no, things changed because the guy did not know what he was doing. You don't stand behind your thing. Let's go. Pop. Before we were about to leave, I said, give me my deposit. And obviously they gave me everything I wanted. But obviously, I didn't win. I just minimized the loss. Because when you go and deal with these guys, you always lose. They always have something you don't know, that they have it on you. And you just minimize the loss. But I was treated like, and before I left, I said, you guys are crooks. You and you. I wanted to write a little review online for these guys. And no, these were not the guys on the Mercedes. These were GM workers, just so you know. Thank you very much for being with me again today. These guys will circumvent whatever they want. Why? Because that's the way it goes. If you from direct experience, whenever I worked in an institution, governmental institution or in a private sector, there were always waivers, or not even waivers. It was just the whim of a leader, a director, CEO, owner of the company. If he would like something to be done, even though everybody was following the procedures, the protocol, all those things, if someone said, in this circumstance, we're going to do it this way, because not something that will move things necessarily forward, it just makes sense for someone, everything could have been just circumvented, as these guys say. Then why the fuck do you have laws? For idiots like us to stay in line, or we're civilized, right? Drive below the speed limit, obviously. Don't do this, don't do this, do this. And others cut the lines, drive faster, and then things bend, the laws bend left and right according to whoever they know. It's a little bit more camouflaged here in a free world and so on. But where I come from, it's in your face. They tell you, what are you going to do? I know the chief of police, he's my uncle, or he's my godfather or something. What are you going to do? You're going to suck my thing right in front of you, the police officer. You can record him. Who's going to review that? His uncle. All right. Kind of the same thing is here. If you meet a certain kind of people, like I did, and they say, well, we're going to have a little, why? Because he belongs to that group. Fucking school principal who makes more than $100,000 a year. I don't know how many years back. And he couldn't pick on that abuse, because this person belongs to that group, and he was afraid that it's going to be called ist and bist and trist and clist. That's how it works. So he tried. Okay, yeah, I went and spoke with people above him, and he got fired. Good for me. There was a weasel. Why? Because he was not implementing what he was supposed to implement. He was circumventing the laws. But I went to the school superintendent and I explained the situation. And he was investigated, and indeed he was just violating the rules and procedures. And he was transferred, by the way. He didn't lose his job. He lost the job at that particular good school. He went somewhere else, and he also gets $150,000 a year as a school principal. As an, how do you call those guys? Administrator. They administrate the good functioning of the school. And he was telling me that these things occur in the school all the time. We can't avoid having them. How about we get someone who can? Get the fuck out. Anyway, Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.